All right, welcome back to Big B Sports Talk Podcast. Again, this is Brian Hanley. Thank you for tuning in. You know, most years, college football playoff, we've been clamoring for it forever, and most years they get it right. You know, you get 4 teams in there, let them battle it out to see who's the best. But every now and then, and this year's one of those where the old system, the BCS, would have been better than having 4 teams in. Let's talk about it. Again, thank you guys for tuning in to the podcast. Again, remember to like and subscribe to Big B Sports Talk. Now, taking a look at the college football playoff, again, most years it is exactly what we want. It's exactly what we need. We need to have 4 teams and even more. I mean, overall, we need to have at least 12 teams, I think, and let them battle it out. Is everybody going to get in, that we think that should get in? That's going to happen no matter what. But 12, I think, is a perfect number. This year, though, we only needed 2. Michigan and Georgia clearly separated themselves from everybody else. Everybody else had resume issues, whether they lost a game, didn't play enough good teams, didn't beat enough good teams. This is one of those years where the BCS would have served better than the college playoff, and I believe everybody would have been happy. Let's take a look at it. Right now, we still have lunatics, and I mean lunatics, that are still saying that Alabama should be in over TCU. Doesn't matter that Alabama lost more games than TCU. Doesn't matter that Alabama didn't beat as many good teams as TCU. Doesn't matter that Alabama didn't play as good a schedule as TCU. None of that matters. All they look at is Alabama and TCU. Because here's the thing. If you flipped Alabama and TCU's resumes, there would be no question that everybody would say that Alabama deserves to be in. And yet, here we are, still debating on whether TCU should be in or not, when clearly, they have a much better resume than what Alabama could ever dream of having this year. Second, moving on, head-to-head has to matter. That's a problem that everybody seems to be missing this year. Nobody even wanted to look at this year. Head-to-head matters. Yes, I understand Tennessee, outside looking in, doesn't deserve to be in the playoff. But they beat Alabama. I don't care. Yeah, they got boat raced by South Carolina and Georgia. That happened. But if you're comparing 2 teams and one beat the other, how can you possibly say that team deserves to be the team that got beat, deserves to be over the team that beat them? Again, 2 losses for both. Yes, Tennessee's 2 losses were worse, but they beat Alabama. Everybody just throws head-to-head completely out of this. I don't know why. The one thing that people don't do, and that they have to start doing, is just take all the analytical nerd football out of it. And that's what I call a lot of analytics. A lot of analytics are needed, but a lot of analytics are just nerd football. Take that out. Just go by what you see, man. I saw one team beat another, period. Let's go to Ohio State. Let's jump around a little bit. Let's go to Ohio State. Ohio State, they had a good resume. They beat everybody that they beat by more than 10 points. The only good team that they beat, possibly good team, was Penn State. And we're not sure how good Penn State is either, because the 2 good teams that they played, they got destroyed. But that's the only good team that Ohio State supposedly beat. That's it. Nobody else. The other team that they played, Michigan, whipped Ohio State. It was a close game. No. They ran for over 200 yards in the second half on the road. Just took Ohio State's manhood completely from them. And you're telling me that they deserve a chance? I just don't know, man. That's why I'm saying this year, the BCS would have been a better system. Look at TCU. TCU's resume is great, but they lost at the end of the year. When you lose, it has to matter. It's unfortunate, but that has to matter. They lost at the end of the season. Sorry. USC was there. USC, you know what that is. USC were frauds. I mean, they play absolutely no defense. Again, manhood taken away by Utah twice. Not once, twice. BCS would have been better this year. Look, I am all for having more teams. Like I mentioned earlier, 12 is the perfect number. And don't talk to me about kids, they can't play. Hey, at the FCS level, they play more football games. So it's fine. I think these guys can figure out how to play more football games. They will be just fine. Don't talk to me about the academic part of it either. Again, teams at lower levels do it just fine. Not to mention, their travel is more because they're taking bus rides and not taking these planes everywhere, these chartered planes. So the amount of time that they're away is less. So again, we can make it work. There's all this money. Come on, people. Let's not be dumb. 12 is the perfect number. But this year, the BCS was the better system. Look, Georgia separated itself. Georgia was the best team. They had a few games that they weren't interested in, that, they struggled, and they did. But they ended up boat racing the teams that when you thought, oh, man, these games are going to be close. For instance, LSU, everybody thought, oh, they're going to beat them. They're going to beat them in the SEC championship game, and they deserve to go. The game was 35-7 at one point. And literally over. So don't talk to me about any of that. Georgia was the best football team this year. Michigan not far behind. Did Michigan have tough games? Hey, look, you can't crush every team. Or that's usually not what happens. You just don't destroy every team. Scholarship numbers, transfer portal, NIL, all that stuff all rolled into one. Scholarship limitations. You're not going to be able to blow out everybody. It's not like it used to be in the 90s. Things have changed. But the BCS this particular year, it just would have been a better system because we had two teams that we knew were the best. Again, do I like having a big college playoff? Absolutely. However, this year, the BCS would have been better because we knew who the two best teams were. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate it. Let me know, as always, in the comments what you think. And again, as always, please remember to like and follow. Thank you for tuning in to Big B Sports Talk.